Come with us to the lively heart of New York, where we explore amazing stories of Asian American legacy businesses. Walk through Chinatown, where a family has been making tofu for a long time. Meet a young daughter changing her parents' Malaysian restaurant in Queens. See the differences between a dad and his daughter. Hear about a Korean American woman making her mom's business successful again. These stories show what Asian American legacy is all about. New York Chronicles, the Asian American Small Business Journey. Episode 5, Passing the Torch, Continuing the Legacy. Generations of Tofu Mastery, a Chinatown Chronicle.
It opened in 1933 by my grandfather and partners. At that point, it was just, my family was the only ones still running it. Partners had left or gone away a long time ago. And everybody just got too old and everybody was retiring and they didn't want to do it anymore. And there was nobody else to carry it forward. In fact, I didn't want to carry it forward.
I was actually proud of him because after we met, he always kept telling me stories about his family and his grandparents and the parents who built that business. And I was happy for him that he will continue to do the same because I think it's a family history. It's very important.
Yeah, so I was working in Russia as a photographer. And the motivation, just like most people's motivation, is children. I had my first child and I just really had to consider other ways of making a living to feed my family, especially after coming back. I had a second child here. So it seemed like a good idea to restart the family business because it had a solid reputation. I knew the business well and the business had fed my entire family. I thought it would be stable. I did recreate it after a long time. It was, when the recipes were created, but nobody kept track of those changes and nobody kept track of the measurements. When I had to recreate it, I had to speak to old employees, my mom, whoever who still remembered the recipes. And unfortunately, their memory of it was very fuzzy. So I had to take what they were saying and match it up to the science. I wanted to modernize it. Before we used to bake, especially the rice cakes that we made, we used to make it with gigantic woks, and that used a lot of gas. It was really hot in the kitchen. It was always over 100 degrees in the kitchen, and I didn't want to do that. So I had to kind of retrofit the recipe for something more modern, like a steam cabinet. I just was guided by my taste. I just kept on doing it until it tastes like my memory. I've done music, I've done photography from a commercial career standpoint. I've also done graphic design, art direction from a career standpoint. Of course there is art, but it kind of soured me on those things like photography and music. And then switching to tofu obviously was difficult, but at the same time I realized it's still creative because I was still recreating something, creating something. He would be happy, but he would also kind of say, "I told you so," because when he was still alive, from childhood, he would always be saying, you're going to take over one day and you're going to continue the business. And of course, much like most Asian fathers, he was very insistent that I do exactly what he told me, you know, that it was his way or the highway, you know. And of course, my answer was always, no, I'm not doing it. No, 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 no. So he'd be happy, laughing, and also telling me that you should have listened to me from the start and you wouldn't have to have gone through all this. My future plans for Fong On would definitely be growing. I mean, you just can't do something and not grow. I have ideas for expansion for maybe another location, which would be more of a restaurant type of thing, where we would specialize in tofu.
Culinary heritage, from Malaysian roots to Queen's streets.
I'm PM. I am the manager of Pulau Pinang in Elmhurst. It's a Southeast Asian, more like Malaysian-based restaurants in Elmhurst, but we also have a lot of like Taiwanese dishes too. So it's more like a Malaysian and Taiwanese cuisine in Elmhurst to have your both craving fix. So this restaurant actually opened 2013, December 26th. So it's almost our 10-year anniversary. So when we first opened, I lived across the street. Like my whole family lived across the street. So basically the whole family came to.
那些人叫我阿罗阿罗啊，我是这槟城小岛的老板。
He is a very hardworking man. We open at 11. But he would come in at 8 a.m. every single day. Yeah, he would need 3 hours to prep. Like, no matter how much we tell him not to come so early, because then we have worker coming in at 11 to help him out, but then he wouldn't listen. He would just come in and do his thing. My parents were here in the 80s. Yeah, so they were here separately before they met. And then they met in here, and then they went back to Malaysia to get married, came back the 90s. They actually, after they got married, they actually opened a little stall to sell wonton noodles. It's like noodle soup in Malaysia, yeah.
我从1989年开始来的，那时候我来的时候是做洗碗，因为我在马来西亚没有。 不是做餐馆。
They work in a Chinese takeout in Philadelphia. Yeah, but they're always in this restaurant business. It was also hard for them to find anything else other than restaurants back in the days. Yeah, he's like 62 now. He's thinking about retiring. So I was thinking to start learning his recipes and stuff.
正宗，梗係正宗啦。 啲全部咧係馬拉嘅 recipe 嘅。
The roti canai and the char kway teow noodles might be my best-selling menu here because roti canai, it's like basically it's like a homemade roti bread that we dip in a curry sauce, chicken curry sauce. Yeah, and then the char kway teow noodle, it's like a very famous Penang style stir-fried noodles that goes with seafood and crispy pork. It's like a comfort food. I've been here for as long as it's open. I've never worked anywhere else but here. I love hospitality. I love customer service. I like to talk to people. So I was like, maybe I can change this because during pandemic, business is really bad, you know. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just renovate this place a little bit, upgrade it a little bit, make it more comfortable. So when people come back and then they were like, oh, it's so nice now. I want to hang out here. So Then yeah, from that time on, I just changed my attitude. I was like, I'm gonna make this really good.
將馬來西亞美食發揚光大咁。
Reshaping tradition. A daughter's culinary odyssey.
저는 브러쉬 먹자 골목에서 전주 할매 칼국수를 운영하고 있는 정경화입니다. 2002년도부터 이 장소가 아닌 다른 장소에서 운영을 처음에 문을 열게 되었어요. 어머니가 이제 먼저 가게를 시작하신 거고요. 어머니가 원래 한국 이태원에서 감자탕 가게를 한 10년 하셨어요. 그래서 이제 그 주 메뉴가 감자탕 그리고 해장국 이렇게 두 가지가 메인 메뉴였어요. 아무래도 이제 젊었을 때 20대 때부터 처음 분식점부터 해서 식당을 뭐 몇십 년 하셨으니까 미국 오셨어도 이제 당연히 자기가 식당을 해야 되겠다는 이제 그런 꿈을 가지고 계셨고 또 기회가 잘 닿아서 그 식당을 엄마가 운영을 하게 되셨어요. 어머니는 지금 3년 전에 이제 자꾸 하셨는데 참 음식에 대한 저는 솔직히 이제 제가 어머니가 하시는 식당을 제가 물려받아서 하고 있지만 어머니의 음식하는 그거에 저는 반의 반도 잘 못 따라가죠. 근데 어머니는 그 정말 자기가 이 음식하는 걸 너무너무 사랑하셔서 이 식구들한테 이렇게 밥 한 끼 하나 제공한다는 그런 심정으로 반찬 하나하나 음식 하나하나 자기 손 다 가셔가지고 정성껏 정말 즐거운 마음을 하셨던 분이거든요. 솔직히 제가 엄마보다 뭐 잘할 수 있는 거는 없는 것 같아요. 어떤 거 하나도 솔직히 없고 저희 엄마는 뭐 만두면 만두, 뭐 모든 음식을 본인이 다 직접 하셨거든요. 그래서 제가 이제 옆에서 그냥 딸이 아닌 그냥 손님의 제3자 입장으로 쳐다봐도 참 존경스럽고 음식에 대한 열정은 대단하셨다. 제가 항상 그거는 엄마를 생각할 때 그 모습은 제가 항상 마음속에 간직하고 있어요. 몇 분요? 앉으세요. 원 감자탕? 된장찌개. 오케이. 땡큐. 안녕하세요. 여기 괜찮으시면 여기 앉으셔도 되고 아니면 여기 치우고 이쪽으로 앉으세요. 계란말이 나왔어요. 갈치조림 나왔습니다. 네, 전주식당입니다. 잠깐만요. 확인해 볼게요. 우리 갈치조림 있어? 네. 나는 엄청 오랜만에 봤어. 자리 모자라나? 여기 이래 두 분 앉으시면 돼. 그럼 얘를 치워가지고 저쪽에 가스레인지 넣어줄게. 또 오세요. 일단은 엄마가 하셨던 이 가게를 처음 마음은 절대로 이제 망해먹지 말자 이렇게 유지를 해보자였는데 지금 사실은 이제 잘 되고 있어요. 너무 잘 되고 있고 저는 제가 잘하는 거는 손님들 관리. 그거는 제가 엄마보다 훨씬 잘하는 것 같아요. 그리고 또 어느 정도 그래도 또 엄마한테 물려받은 그 어떤 유전자적인 끼가 있기 때문에 완전히 전수는 못 받았지만 엄마가 하시던 거 생각하면서 제가 또 음식에 대해서 좀 더 이렇게 만들어가면서 연구하고 있는 중이에요. 제가 열심히 노력을 하고 또 음식을 자꾸 개발을 하고 뭔가 새로운 메뉴를 애드시키고 이러니까 그런 모습을 보시고 지금 손님들이 되게 많이 늘어났거든요. 지금 저희 가게가 20년 이상 운영이 되고 있는데 그 단골들이 지금 계속 쭉 이어져 오고 계세요. 가장 잘 팔리는 메뉴는 그래도 역시 베스트 원은 감자탕이고요. 저희 집이 다른 집하고 틀리게 생들깨를 많이 갈아 넣어서 건강식으로 이제 그 엄마가 고집하셨던 방식이 있거든요. 그래서 그 감자탕이 가장 많이 팔리고 있고 외국 손님들이 요즘에 되게 많이 오세요. 그 주말 같은 경우에 주로 젊은 친구들이 많이 오고요. 이제 개인적으로 자기들이 스스로 이제 홍보를 많이 해줘가지고 SNS 같은데 저희 집이 많이 올라와 있더라고요. 그래서 직접 메뉴 같은 거 다 사진 찍고 동영상 찍어서 올린 걸 보고 이제 그걸 보고 오는 친구들이 되게 많이 있고요. 예전에 퍼센트가 거의 한국 사람이 90%였다면 지금은 뭐 거의 한 6대4 정도로 외국 사람들이 많이 늘어난 편이에요. 이 음식을 좀 모르는 젊은 친구들한테 좀 더 알려서 많은 분들이 한국 음식을 대할 때 정말 이렇게 너무 맛있는 음식이 좋은 음식이라는 그런 좀 생각을 가질 수 있는 게 한 사람에서 제가 더 늘릴 수 있다면 그게 제가 이제 식당을 하는 보람인 것 같고 앞으로 제가 그렇게 하려고 노력을 하고 있어요.
Hey there! This documentary series is all about sharing the cool stories of different Asian American small businesses. We're hoping it helps you get to know and connect with the Asian American community a bit better. Cheers to supporting the growth of these awesome small businesses. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. Catch you in the next episode.